Greetings, children. Welcome to my channel Inside Accountancy by Shakun. Today we'll be talking about Chapter 4 Change in Profit Sharing Ratio. The contents of this video are change in PSR, that is the profit sharing ratio, treatment of accumulated profits and reserves, investment fluctuation reserve in detail will be discussed, and an example based on it. Change in profit sharing ratio whenever the existing partners decide to change the ratio in which they are sharing profits, that is referred to as change in profit sharing ratio, and it always leads to the reconstitution of the firm, that it leads to the dissolution of the partnership firm and not of the partnership. In case of reconstitution, there are certain issues which need to be addressed, and these are determination of sacrificing ratio, gaining ratio, accounting of goodwill, accounting of reserves, accumulated profits and losses, revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities, and the adjustment of capital. We have already talked about the determination of sacrificing ratio and gaining ratio and accounting treatment of goodwill in my previous videos, and for more information you can click on the I button. Regarding accounting of reserves and accumulated profits also, I have discussed one reserve in my previous video. So the treatment of accumulated profits and reserves, any reserves and accumulated profits or losses, they are always transferred to partners' capital or current account depending upon the method of preparing capital accounts. At the time of change in profit sharing ratio, the reserves and the accumulated profits and losses, they always exist in the books of the firm, but they are always transferred to partners' capital account in case the capitals are fluctuating, or they are transferred to current accounts if the capitals are fixed, and this is always done in their old profit sharing ratio. Why? Why in the old ratio? Because these reserves and undistributed profits and losses, as on the date of change in profit sharing ratio, they were earned before that, before the change. So it all happened before the reconstitution of the firm. That is why they should be distributed in the old ratio. Now these accumulated profits and reserves are made on prudence principle, which states that we should make accounting for all possible prospective losses. So in order to ensure that in future whenever the losses occur, we do not get a financial burden, what every business does is they start preparing for those losses by appropriating certain amounts from their profits in the form of reserves and funds. Now the various accumulated profits and reserves can be, you can see the balance sheet. These are the basic the funds or the reserves that may be given in a question: general reserve, P&L account, workmen compensation reserve, investment fluctuation fund, P&L account on the asset side also, goodwill, advertisement suspense, and deferred revenue expenditure. All the items that are mentioned on the liability side have a CR balance, and all the items that are mentioned on the asset side, they have a DR balance. Now I have also mentioned employee provident fund here, although it is not a accumulated profit and reserve. Why? Because it is an outside liability. EPF is the money of the employees that is kept safe with us. So we cannot just utilize it for our purposes. It is outside liability and it is not transferred to partners' capital or current account. Rest all these amounts, they are written off, and they are written off in their old ratio and transferred to partners' capital account. Moving on, the treatment of accumulated profits and reserves is done through a journal entry. In case of the reserves or accumulated profits, for all those items which appear on the liability side which have a CR balance, they are written off by debiting them, and they are distributed between the partner's capital or current account in the old ratio. Similarly, all the losses which appear on the asset side, they have a DR balance. They are hence credited to be written off and then distributed between the partners in the old ratio. Moving on, in this video, we'll be talking majorly about the investment fluctuation fund or reserve. Now, investments are always recorded in our books at the cost at which they are acquired. However, the market value may be different. It may either be equal to or lower than or higher than its book value. So there will always be a change between the market value and the book value. Investment fluctuation reserve is a reserve which is set aside set aside out of profits to meet the fall in the market value of investments. Investments are always subject to fluctuation. So if due to a fluctuation there is a fall in the market value, if there is a loss, so that loss can be covered up through the investment fluctuation fund or reserve. See, either of the thing, fund or reserve means the same. So at the time of change in profit sharing ratio, we need to make a proper accounting of investment fluctuation reserve. So there can be again certain situations which might occur. They may be when the book value and market value are same. So if the book value is 1 lakh and the market value is also 1 lakh, so that means there is no change. Market value of what? Of the investment. So in that case, it does not link to the IFR or the investment fluctuation reserve. It will not affect it because there is no change. So investment fluctuation reserve will be distributed between the partner's capital or current account in the old ratio. Why? Because there is no change in the market value and the book value. Both are same. The second situation can be when the market value is lower than the book value. So now when the market value is lower than the book value, again there may be certain situations when the fall in value, the amount by which it is decreasing, the fall in value is lesser than IFR. So the fall in value is, let's assume if the fall in value is 10,000 and IFR is 15,000. So in this case, our fall in value is lesser than the IFR. So what we'll do is we'll write off the IFR. We'll the fall in value, that is the book value minus market value, that will be credited because the value of investment is being decreased because of the fall in value. See, whenever investment is an asset and if there is a fall in the value of an asset, it should always be credited. So if IFR was 15,000 and investments are being reduced by 10,000, the remaining 5,000 will be distributed between the partners in their old ratio. Moving on, if the fallen value is equal to the investment fluctuation reserve. So another example, if the IFR was 15,000 and the decrease in the value of investments is also 15,000. So simple, whatever is the amount of decrease, by that amount we are going to credit the investment and we are going to recover that from the IFR. So partners capital account will not be credited. Moving on, if the fall in value is more than the IFR. So if the decrease is more than the IFR, what happens is IFR will be debited with 15,000. Investments will be credited with, let's say if the fall in value is more, let's say if the fall in value is 18,000. So investment will be credited with 18,000. The difference 3,000 will be debited to revaluation account since it is a loss, and as soon as we see revaluation account we are going to distribute it, write it off between the partners in the old ratio. Moving on, if there is an increase in the market value of investment, see, whenever there is a decrease, in that case IFR plays a major role because any kind of loss should be covered up through the investment fluctuation reserve. But if there is an increase, that is we are making profits, for profits we are not going to touch our reserves. Our reserves do not increase because of profits. So in case of profits, reserve will be written off in the normal manner, IFR to partners capital account in the old ratio, and the increase in the value of investment, investment is an asset, increase in asset is always debited. So the increase in the value of the investment will be credited to revaluation account, and this gain will be distributed between the partners in their profit sharing ratio. So these were the different cases. They will be more clear with the help of an example. ABC sharing profit losses in the ratio of 4 is to 3 is to 2, which is the old ratio. They decide to share the future profits and losses in the ratio of 2 is to 3 is to 4, which is the new ratio with effect from 1st April. An extract of the balance sheet is given where investment fluctuation reserve is given as 18,000. The value of investment, the book value of investment is 2 lakh, and we are given certain additional information. So I'll be taking up every case one by one. Just remember that the investment fluctuation reserve is of 18,000 and investment is 2 lakh. So moving on to the first case, when there is no other information. See, when there is no other information, that means market value is not given in the question. So we are only left with IFR of 18,000. So investment fluctuation reserve, just like any other reserve, will be written off between the partners in their old ratio, in the old profit sharing ratio. So IFR is debited because it is written off 18,000, and this 18,000 is divided in the ratio of 4:3:2 between A, B and C. Case 2, when the market value of investment is 1,91,000. Now the book value of investment was 2 lakh. So 2 lakh was the value which was given in our books. The market value of investment is 1,91,000. There is a fall in the value of investment. There is a decrease in the value of investment, and this decrease, what is the amount of decrease? The book value was 2 lakh. The market value is 1,91,000. So this 9,000, the 9,000 is the value of decrease. This will be covered up with from the IFR. So investment fluctuation reserve is debited with 18,000. Two investments, the amount of decrease, since it is an asset, whenever an asset decreases, it is always credited. So 9,000 is credited, and the remaining 9,000 is distributed between A, B and C in their old profit sharing ratio. Moving on to case 4, when market value of investment is 2 lakh. So when the market value of this is the case number 2. I did the case 3 first. So when market value of investment is 2 lakh, that means the market value and book value both are same. So in such a situation, when the market value and book value are same, in such a situation our entry will be same. We are only, since there is no loss as such, no decrease in value, so we are only going to write off our IFR and distribute it between the partners. Moving on to case number 4, when market value of investment is 2,18,000. Now this is a case where market value is more and the book value is lesser, because the book value was 2 lakh. So this 18,000 is the increase in the value of investment. In case of increase in the value of investment, IFR will not be affected. So therefore we have 3 entries here. IFR will be written off between partners in their old ratio normally. Then the increase in the value of investment, the increase was of 18,000. This increase will be transferred to revaluation account, and then revaluation account balance will be written off between the partners in their profit sharing ratio. So this increase leads to a gain, and this profit is distributed between partners in their old ratio. Please note that whatever we are doing, the revaluation or any kind of reserve, that is always done in the old ratio. The new ratio has no role to play in this. Moving on to the last case, when market value of investment is 1,73,000. Now in this case, there is a decrease in the value of investment. The book value was 2 lakh and the market value is 1,73,000. So 27,000 is the decrease in the value of investment, but the decrease is more than the IFR available. IFR was only 18,000 and the decrease is 27,000. So in this case, IFR will be written off with 18,000. The decrease in investment will be credited with 27,000, and the balancing figure, the amount which we cannot cover up from the reserve, will be transferred to revaluation account. And this revaluation account, this loss will be distributed between the partners in their profit sharing ratio. So as soon as we see the revaluation account, it has to be written off between the partners. So 2 entries have to be passed in this case, since the decrease is more than the amount of reserve that is available. So all these cases have been discussed. In this video, we have talked about change in PSR and the treatment of accumulated profits and reserves with special reference to investment fluctuation reserve along with an example based on it. So I hope everything is clear to you. If you liked my content, please like my video, show some love, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell button in case you want to get notified. Any queries that you have, email me at my ID or leave a comment in the comment section. Thank you so much for being so patient.